Hey, sit quietly for a moment. Take a slow breath. I know life has felt heavy lately. Not necessarily loud or dramatic, just heavy. There are still worries on your mind. Still unanswered questions. Still moments where your heart feels tired. And sometimes it feels like there's always something to think about. Something to carry. Something to pray over. But listen to this is not random. God is speaking to you right now. And He's saying, I am giving you peace in the middle of everything. Not after everything is solved. Not after every worry disappears. Right here. Right now. In the middle of this season. Take another slow breath and let those words settle gently into your heart. God says, I know your mind has been busy. Thinking about the future. Thinking about family. Thinking about your health. Thinking about things you cannot fully control. And even when you try to relax, your thoughts keep moving. God says, I see how tired your heart has become from caring so much for so long. You've spent years being strong, years taking care of others, years trying to hold everything together, and now your spirit is longing for rest. God says that is why I am drawing you toward peace. Not the kind of peace that comes from perfect circumstances, but the kind that quietly settles into your soul, even when life still feels uncertain. God says peace is not the absence of problems. It is the presence of my comfort in the middle of them. God says, I know there are things you still do not fully understand. Situations that still feel unresolved. Questions that still do not have answers. But I do not want your heart to live in constant fear or tension anymore. I want you to rest in the truth that you are not facing life alone. God says, I am already walking ahead of you. Already present in the future you worry about. Already working in places you cannot yet see clearly. God says you do not have to carry every burden yourself. You do not have to solve every problem tonight. You do not have to spend every quiet moment worrying. Because I am still holding your life carefully in my hands. God says, I know there are moments when anxiety quietly settles into your chest. Moments when your thoughts become overwhelming. Moments when you feel emotionally exhausted without even knowing why. But listen carefully, you were not created to live in constant heaviness. You were created to experience peace too. God says, even now in this slower season of life, I want your heart to soften, to breathe more deeply, to stop carrying so much fear about tomorrow. God says you have already survived difficult seasons before. Seasons you once thought would break you. And yet I carried you through every one of them. God says, so why would I stop caring for you now? Why would I stop guiding you now? I want. God says, I know life has changed. Some chapters ended. Some relationships shifted. Some dreams unfolded differently than expected. And because of that, your heart sometimes struggles to feel settled. But hear me gently, peace is still possible for you. Even now. God says, not because everything is perfect, but because I am still with you, in the middle of imperfect situations. God says sometimes peace comes quietly. Like sitting near a window in the morning and suddenly feeling calm for no clear reason. Like a deep breath that softens the tension in your heart. Like a quiet reminder that you are safe in this moment. God says those moments matter. That is me comforting your spirit. That is me reminding you that peace is still available to you. God says, I know you still carry concerns. That's part of being human. But please stop carrying them alone. Bring them to me, the fears, the uncertainty, the exhaustion, the sadness. You do not have to hide any of it from me. God says, I want this season of your life to become gentler. Not perfect, but gentler. Less rushed. Less fearful. Less emotionally heavy. God says you no longer need to spend every day trying to prepare for every possible outcome. Rest a little more, trust a little more, breathe a little deeper. God says, and one day, you will look back on this season and realize something beautiful even in the middle of uncertainty. I was quietly teaching your heart how to rest, how to let go, how to feel peace again. God says, so stop waiting for life to become perfect before allowing yourself to feel calm. Peace can exist even in unfinished seasons, even in uncertain seasons, even in quiet seasons. God says, I am still holding you, still guiding you, still comforting you, and still giving you peace in the middle of everything. Always. If this message brought peace to your heart, type GODIS, giving ME peace in the comments. And remind yourself today, you do not have to wait for everything to be perfect before your heart can rest.